Teaching veteran Trey Reely here. Welcome to Band Stuff. Today I'm finishing up a series on top 10 mistakes that band directors make. I'll be covering number 7, 8, 9, and 10. If you haven't caught the others, feel free to go to my YouTube channel and catch the other 3. Even if you haven't seen them, I think you'd find this video helpful as well. And if you would, if you like the video at some point, if you'll click like and subscribe, I would really appreciate it. Commercial over. Mistake number 7, trying to be a buddy to your students. You know, early in my career, this was a real temptation because I was so close in age to many of my students to almost want to be their buddy. And I think a lot of that came out of my insecurity as a new teacher. I wanted to be liked. And I think it kind of put me in a position of maybe saying some things and acting such a way where I was really more of a buddy than I was a teacher. And it's really important to avoid that because we all want to be liked. But we got to remember that in all those situations, we are the adult. And there is such a thing as being close, a caring director, somebody that values people, and then crossing a certain line. Practically speaking, I would say probably the thing to really watch for is how much do you communicate with your students outside of class. I think a general rule when it comes to texting, it would be best if you never ever texted an individual student. But if you do, it needs to be short. It needs to be pure business. As in, remember you have practice today or you have a lesson today, and that needs to be it. Because it doesn't matter how innocent the texting might be, just the pure volume of texts is very suspicious and does not look good. So if you have to text, make it very short, make it all business. What happens when a band director becomes too close to his students? You're shifting the authority. You no longer become the leader, the student becomes the leader. And when you become a buddy to your students, also, you're really trying to meet your own needs and fulfill your own insecurities. And we're there for the students. They are not there for us. So please be careful with your relationships with students. Keep that line very, very clear between director and student. Mistake number 8, forgetting that sometimes less is more. I really like the acrostic KISS, K-I-S-S, keep it simple, stupid. So one of the most important times, I think, to keep it simple is right before a performance. Whether the group is huddled up before they're about to march on the field, whether you're in a warm-up area before a region contest, don't pour a tremendous amount of information on them all at one time. In fact, I'd say even the previous rehearsal, maybe 2, your main focus should be on building their confidence. Raving, ranting, stressing everybody out probably does more harm than good. And at the very least, it makes it less of an enjoyable experience in preparing for that particular event. So build confidence. At the last minute, just give a few pointed instructions. Don't pour a ton of information on them. Just keep it simple. Mistake number 9, talking too much during rehearsal or during concerts. As you can probably tell by the way I like to talk, that this might have been a mistake that I would make early in my career. But it's very important to remember that playing students are happy students. How much of your rehearsals are spent talking as opposed to having your students play? Now, I mentioned in an earlier video that it's important to give specific instructions, but make them quick, make them sharp, make them accurate, and have those kids playing. As for concerts, I've seen many, many concerts where the director just goes on and on and on in between songs. But always remember that those parents came not to hear the director talk, they came to hear their kid play. Now, I think there is some value in talking at concerts. You can build a good rapport with the audience. I think that's important. And then also sometimes you have to talk while the percussion is getting everything ready. But I would keep things as short and pointed as you can. If you have a particularly long explanation for a piece that you're playing, consider putting that in the program so they can read about it, so that you don't have to tell the complete story behind the band piece. And a final suggestion on this, and I know this can be one of the hardest ones because of how busy we all are, is try to have the comments that you make as planned out as much as possible, even typed up or written out, so you don't just ramble on and on and on, and that you can say exactly what you want to say in a very specific, pointed, and efficient way. And mistake number 10, some band directors stopped growing professionally. Now, I have a really good feeling that you're not one of these directors because you're still watching this video at this point. So, hey, you are to be congratulated. And as you move longer and longer into your career, one of the challenges you're going to face about this growing professionally thing, and this is kind of what I found, is I would almost feel bad sometimes to learn something new because it meant I had not been doing that thing for about 15 years. You know, learning new things almost made me feel like a bad teacher because it's like, you know, I should have known that a long time ago, or I've been doing that this way and it's not near as good as this way. And I almost feel like it's an indictment of how bad a teacher I used to be. But I had to get over that because really to be a true professional, a true leader, you have to be somebody that develops and grows in your profession. And I hope you will always continue to grow all the way up to your last day of teaching, up to the day you retire. You're somebody that's always learning. Because the more that you learn, obviously, the more your students benefit from that and the better that your band gets. And I kind of ask you that question today. What are you better at this year because of an effort you gave to be better than you were last year? If the answer is nothing, you know, maybe you need to evaluate your growth as a band director. It's great being with you today. I appreciate you watching. I do value being a resource to anybody that I can help. Feel free to email me. I'll have an email in the final frame of this video, and feel free to email me and I'll help you in whatever way that I can. Until next time, take care.